sort of wasting the airtime. But Kerry, it's really lovely to speak to you, and I'm sure we'll speak again in the future. Thank you. Thank you for what you've done.
That's brilliant. Thanks, Bobbly Bear. No, we're not going to give out to you. It's just we have to let other people phone in. I'm sure they want to phone in and ask Kerry a few questions. Thanks, Bobbly Bear, and thanks for your question there. Take care. Thanks. Bye-bye. That's brilliant. Yeah, well, I think, Kerry, since we're on the subject, there has been this massive awakening that's going on with people. More and more people are beginning to wake up. Oh, we have another call coming in. Oh, you're a very popular girl today, I tell you. That's brilliant. Okay, let me just get this other caller in. Hello, caller. Who are you and where are you?
Hello, how are you? My name is Whitewash, from New York.
Hi, Whitewash. How are you doing?
Not too bad. Pretty good, thank you.
Okay, we're just trying to restrict a quick question for Kerry because we know there's a lot of people want to have a chat with her.
Okay.
Do you have a quick question for Kerry?
I do, yeah. I do.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I want to know how are the elite reacting to what you're doing? I heard that they are giving you problems.
Can you hear that, Kerry?
How are the who?
How are the elite reacting to what you're doing? Are they giving you problems?
Well, it's been a very long saga, obviously, since we started Project Camelot. Yes, we have been messed with in incredible ways, although nothing. Well, actually, we both had our lives threatened maybe a year ago, but I can go into some of that if you are interested. But basically, even in the early days of Camelot, we were messed with. They tried to knock us off the web a number of times. Even our YouTube numbers, they messed with. They took them down to 0 after like a year of operation. So even those are misleading. As high as you might think they are, they were actually even higher. So it's they do things like that. They don't want you to look popular, so they mess with you on YouTube. People don't realize that, I don't think. Anyway, and then the other thing is, of course, hits on our site. Our forum, my Camelot forum, is basically hit on a weekly basis, if not daily, believe it or not, with what's called denial of service attacks. On top of it, we have had some anomalous occurrences in which, for example, at the top of the Alps in Switzerland, our wheel fell off the car, and when we took it to the automobile place, the guy said it was a clean cut. In other words, it was cut by somebody. We don't know who or how or when. But lucky for us that it happened in a parking lot at the very top of the Alps in Grindelwald, I think you say. That's how you say it. Anyway, we just climbed a windy road, and it fell off right in the parking lot. If it had fallen off during the time we were driving up the windy road with, cliffs on either side type of thing, possibly we might have had a very serious accident. Then, of course, when we were on our way to interview Leo Zagami, our car was broken into in the Milan airport where we parked it, and they didn't take even credit cards that were in plain sight. They just rifled the car. That was because we had just interviewed Luca Scantamburlo in Italy about Planet X. So they thought that Luca had given us something, a DVD or some evidence of Planet X. And so obviously the Italian police rifled our car. They broke the locks, and it was very obvious. It was parked in an airport parking lot that has no foot traffic in Italy. So it's just surrounded by freeways. So anyway, it was just interesting. So we've had incidents such as that. But we both survived. We've also had our lives threatened. We've also been warned off certain topics at a threat of, sort of death or something to happen to our family or friends or type of thing, where we were told to keep clear of a certain subject. And I have to say, I was told, people even can hear on the Pete Peterson interview him say to me, that you can't talk about this, you can't talk about that, et cetera, et cetera. I have broken the rules a number of times, and for that, there was a, I don't know, what do you call that, contract out on me for a while. Yeah. And that came back to me by certain people, and then I was told that a certain person intervene on my behalf. Otherwise, they were planning on how they were going to kill me. And then Bill also was threatened, as people will know from the Charles material. Ultimately, Charles was sent to kill him, supposedly, and instead became his friend. So that's a whole saga. Some of which I find very, very hard to believe. But at any rate, that's what has happened.
I was going to ask you about the Charles interview because I did watch it. And there's a part to me that kind of says he's kind of winding Bill up. You know? I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
It's just my gut feeling was that, you know, he wasn't who he said he was. I think he wanted to be that kind of person. Now, I could be wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but...
Well, let's say that he's certainly affiliated with some people that are black magicians, what I would call black magicians. And so here, you know, I wouldn't want to say too much about it, but yes, unfortunately, there was a huge amount of flattery went on. He's somebody that I wouldn't trust. I do think that Bill and he had, you know, some kind of a natural friendship or rapport between them. However, investigators that I have been in contact with, et cetera, have led me to believe that he is not completely who he says he is. Let's put it that way.
My gut feeling was, that was just my own gut feeling. That's my own personal view. And just something to clarify on this, Kerry, is that all this trouble that you've had was purely down to you interviewing people. So, really?
Well, I mean, because we do unusual interviews in that, you know, we go places where other people fear to tread, I guess you might say. And we've always done that. We basically broke the rules. And also we were approached, as I said, we had contact with whistleblowers from Black projects, and we've been very fortunate in that regard. The information they have given us has been groundbreaking and has really affected, I think, the world at this point.
Okay, we have another call coming in for you there, Kerry. You can just bear with us, sorry. Okay, caller, you're on air. What's your name and where are you ringing from?
It's Alan again, it's me.
Alan, how are you doing?
I can't get through on the bloody chat thing.
Okay, you have a question for Kerry,
That's why
Alan?
I rung back, yeah. Yes, Kerry, first of all, oh, hang on. Wait a minute. Got to turn that pipe down. Sorry. Oh, my God. I'm in the studio and I've got all these different speakers set up. Sorry. First of all, yes, I sent Kerry emails with regard to this chappie, Charles. And I've got to say on the record that I absolutely agree with Alan on this. I felt exactly the same, that it was a bit of a thing. And do you remember, Kerry, I did actually email you about it. Do you remember? No, you probably get millions of emails.
Well, yeah, it's very difficult. We do get emails to that regard, but I have to say...
I know, well, you're a bloody megastar, aren't you, darling?
No. I'm just sorry that, you know, I don't recall exactly, but...
well, it's Alan, you know, I email you from time to time and say, you know, namaste from Avalon and all that.
It's possible that you do, and I did see your email. But like I said, we've also gotten... let's say, expert researchers or investigators to look into the subject, and you know, there is a
yes, I understand that.
It's quite questionable. Yes,
but
absolutely.
What Alan's talking about, what Alan, the host, Alan, I mean, you know, he's talking about a gut feeling, and I had exactly that. You don't need all these investigators and stuff. It's a gut feeling.
If you read my articles, you'll see that I had the same gut feeling, and I wrote extensive articles about it. And if you go to my website and you click on articles, you'll see what I wrote, which was...
Yeah, I've read it. I check your blog all the time.
Charles covertly threatened me over what I wrote. So
yes, I know that. I read your book, but I've got to say this for the record as well, that the way that Kerry and Bill Ryan, you know, they started out together as Project Avalon. Beg your pardon, Project Camelot, and Kerry, you know, obviously there's the whole story, the historic thing of it, right? But then they kind of like but they were very grown up and very adult about the way they continued, because they could have, Is that true, Kerry? You could have just split up right there, but you didn't. You continued your projects and continued to work together, but in a very grown-up, very intelligent way, because Bill is beautiful. I mean, he really is.
Thank you. Well, that's lovely. Yes, I mean, we have a lot of love between us. We do disagree greatly on some subjects, and that made it very difficult to continue working side by side as we had been over the years. But we still would agree on many things.
Well, he's in Europe, and you're in California, right?
Yes. Yes.
On your last broadcast, I listened to it. I think was it this morning or yesterday or whatever. It was with that lady, the abduction lady or whatever, right? And that you're now in Malibu. Now I stayed in Malibu as well. I know. I lived all over LA myself. You know, but yeah, no. The way that you and Bill have proceeded is quite grown up, quite interesting, and I think the listeners would want to know. From perhaps a third party, as it were, that, you know, you guys have been absolutely incredible. I mean, you know, to put out information. And Alan and Steve, that's what they're doing. You know, to quote them, put the word out. Isn't that right, Al?
That's it. That's what we're hoping to do. And
but Kerry's doing that. I mean, they're doing Bill. You know, Kerry and Bill. They've been doing that. You know, but for several years now. You know. Yeah. And high level, you know, you're talking about all sorts of whistleblowers and them. You know, I mean, you've had some of them on your radio show as well.
Well, this is what we want to get into. I'm going to speak to Kerry about. But thanks, Al, for calling in. Appreciate that.
Okay.
And
sorry, I was going to ask a question but I can't get on the chat for some reason.
Okay.
I think the CIA or whatever, the cocaine import agency, whoever they are, they're interfering. Maybe, I don't know. God help them. The lizards.
Reboot your router, Alan. Reboot your router.
Yeah, I've tried to open up blah 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 in the other one, but it doesn't work. It's not working, so I just rang in.
Okay,
yeah.
No worries. So I have a question.
Actually, I have to say the link you gave me.
Yeah,
for the
Graham
chat
Hancock is absolutely fabulous. I've got two of his books. Graham Hancock. I've got him. He lives down here somewhere in Devon. I've got to meet him. He's absolutely Fingerprints of the Gods. I've got his other one, you know, about Quetzalcoatl, whatever it is. Absolutely brilliant. Really is, you know.
Brilliant.
And what Kerry's doing is absolutely fantastic, guys. I mean, whoever's listening.
Okay, Al.
I'm going to leave you. Love you and leave you. See you later.
All right, Al. Take care of it. Bye-bye.
All right, darling.
Bye.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
All right, Kerry. So loads of support for you out there and what you're doing.
Can we just backtrack for a second here, because there's a question that's come up there on the chat facility. It's come up several times, and there's a few people want to know, Kerry, what's your take? What's your own personal understanding of why Mr. Obama and the Queen of Great Britain were over here during beginning of the month?
Oh, well, I think I've already indicated that, but basically I believe that they were involved in what you might call a satanic ritual that required them both to go there, that they were maybe, as you said, in the end, the result of that ritual is to reaffirm the sort of control of the crown or the British Empire over Ireland. But I think it's more than that. I actually think that there's something afoot, of which that was just a partial ritual. And I know that David Icke has also he recently made a video and went to Rome, to the Vatican, and was filmed there. You can go to his website and get that. It is a short video in which he's like there during what he calls Beltane, which is one of their rituals, which I believe happens at the end of April, beginning of May. Of course, everyone knows about May Day.
Yeah.
So there's a very strong significance that I believe a sort of a triangle is being created, which is a power, in other words, a magical sort of power going on, ritual going on, and that has to be what in part they were involved in. As to the exact nature of what the plan is and what they're all about with all of that, I don't know. I know that the outward symbolism, but I don't know what their plans, literal plans are. I know that there's something afoot in that regard, and I think that we need to pay close attention. to what's going on and what will go on in the future. And I also